Set to go now on a beautiful sunny afternoon. And off we go in Madden Ultimate Team. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And they're led out by the #1 overall pick back in the 2001 draft. He's been around a while. The lefty, Michael Vick.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Again, Peterson. Adrian Peterson. Now inside the 25. All the way in for a Miami touchdown. Adrian Peterson. 59 yards. And the Dolphins need just 2 plays on their opening drive to take the early lead. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
Mike McDaniel, no hesitation on his end. He's telling his offense to go for 2. They'll look to throw. And unable to connect. They don't get the 2-point conversion here.
If we had $1 for every time we heard a team talk about explosive plays and how valuable they are, we probably wouldn't have to work very much. And we just saw a big one there. And then they tried to go explosive again, going for 2.
Yeah, is that a little too risky, you think? Just kick the extra point?
And you know, I'm all about getting points. And if I feel good about my kicker, I go ahead and do that. But with that ball at the 2-yard line, going for 2, I think it's awfully tempting for teams nowadays.
So now it's the Raiders' turn to go on offense for the first time. And they will be led out by their 2nd-year quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
On the defensive side, tackled by John Randall.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Al down to throw it. Over the middle, complete. It's Adams. It'll go as a gain of 4. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion we had with the coaching staff was...
And he's taken down. Back in his own 7. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Here's the Raiders punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. He'll take it a few steps in front of the 50. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll try the middle with Peterson. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Second down, Peterson again. And he winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On play action, Vick. He's got his target. That's complete. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence. And that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Now with a play clock at 4, we're going to get a timeout called. So as they talk it over, we step aside. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. To throw, Vick. That is caught by Waddle. Touchdown, Miami. 4 yards on the touchdown grab. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Another impressive drive, so they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ball game for them.
And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced a punt to get the ball back, and they've played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimum level.
Here's Vick. That is caught. He's got it. And the lead will move to 14-0. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Second quarter from Miami. It's the Dolphins with the football as they've got it as we resume action. Elliott now to kick this one away. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive, but at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer, and make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. A first down carry for Henry. It's a pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Howell, he'll look to throw it. Flushed out right. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down. Throwing here, Howell. He dumps it off for Henry. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And now 1 yard to go on third down. Looking to throw. Howell. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Sacked on the corner blitz by Marlon Humphrey.
already up 2 touchdowns. How about that drive killer of a sack there to add to their good play? This offense coming away with no points now when some kind of score was desperately needed.
Las Vegas sending out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And not an abundance of time remains on the clock, Charles, but you would think more than enough to try to extend this lead before intermission.
And when you're talking about extending the lead, I think you're talking about aiming for the end zone because there is plenty of time for that. The fallback is to get 3. But in your mind, you put 6 on the board right before the half. That's a heck of a dagger and great momentum to carry into the locker room.
88 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
They run again on first down. Peterson. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Off the play fake, Vick. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. In motion, the tight end. It's a play fake. Now Vick. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And oh, no, it's incomplete. Well, it's a touchdown if he holds on, but somehow took his eyes off of it, falls to the ground, and brings up 4th down.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. They will indeed go for it. Vick, a desperation heave for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Tyreek Hill as the first half is winding down. And the Dolphins will extend their lead here just before halftime. That certainly went against the traditional ways of playing football, but who cares? Look at the result. Big touchdown.
They went for it on their own side of the 50. So there's conservative, there's aggressive, and there's really aggressive, which is what we just saw there. Tip of the cap to them.
Mike McDaniel, no hesitation on his end. He's telling his offense to go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. So the 2-point conversion trend continues, at least as far as trying those goes. They attempted them after all 3 touchdowns, CD, and converted now 2 of them.
They're not just dipping their toe in the water, are they? I mean, they're committed to going for 2 points. And 2 out of 3, now with a 22-0 lead. In a sense, they're a little bit ahead of the curve because normally it would be 21, wouldn't it?
And with the way their defense is playing, I don't know if it matters if they do convert any of these.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder in the ball carrier, and down he goes.
A little bit of daylight on that first down run sets him up nicely. 8 yards on the carry. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcoming everyone to our downtown Orlando studios in this EA Sports Halftime Report.
Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Raiders are going to have it first, and they trail here as we get back to it in this third quarter of action. This taken in at the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now. Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope. Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. And this drive is almost over before it began, thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good run, and they get off the field. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Henry running right. And they'll mark him down right around the 9, just shy of the 10. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on fourth down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Here's the Raiders punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded at the 43. A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. They run over center with Peterson. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. 104 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. They give it to Peterson. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Handoff comes to Peterson. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Adrian Peterson with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Dolphins will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third. So another touchdown there, and even though we're still just here in the third quarter, kind of hard now to see them giving up this lead.
And this is just an offense that's imposing its will right now. You name it, they're able to do it. If you're the play caller, whatever you want to select is there. You want to run it, you want to throw it. Pick a play, any play. They're rocking and rolling right now.
And boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more.
Personally, I'd rather see him kick the extra point there than to go for 2, but it almost feels like there's a story within the story here. I mean, this isn't college. You know, size of victory, that matters in those games. Here, all you have to do is win by 1 point. That's all that you need. Instead, they go for it, get 2. You got some pretty ticked off folks on the other sideline now.
And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Well, yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Powell throwing on third down here. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
And you can tell just by looking at them that this offense is a frustrated unit. Things are really unraveling here, and as a head coach, time to earn your paycheck. You've got to find a way to keep it together as that brings up another 4th down.
Taken from just outside the 30. Three quarters have come and gone. You are watching Madden Ultimate Team on EA Sports. Back now in Miami. It's Dolphin football. It's also Dolphin lead to begin quarter number 4. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right. Play action now, Vic. A short throw caught by Andrews. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him, because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left.
Vic loses the football. It's out. And one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
Vic goes play action. Throw right side is complete to Andrews, his tight end. Well, they're going to throw it here with Vic. And that is incomplete. A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
It's a good gain of 11. Sets them up first and goal. They have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start. And pass plays like we just saw, they're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead in the fourth quarter.
And that they have in every way. And plays like that across all phases of the game, they've just been effortless for them in this one. And that's what's helped them build such a large lead and allowed them to smile as this game continues.
Second down, Peterson again. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. That kind of puts the bow on what has been a complete performance, Charles. They're pitching a shutout on the other side in this offense. They've done their thing well, too.
Yeah, this game has been an all-out effort from them on every snap, and there's a good amount of pride on the line right now. They want to finish what they started. They want this shutout preserved.
So what can Vic do here as he'll lead his guys up to go for the two-point conversion? Here's Michael Vick. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the fourth.
I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on, but apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on third down. Powell out of his own end zone. Over the middle, that's hauled in by Cup. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A real letdown defensively. That was third and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. Powell to the air on 1st and 10. Washington with a catch, middle of the field. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was that they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Dolphins are winners here as we say so long from South Florida.